Hey everyone, here are my last minute exam tips for when we're looking at inequalities. Let's jump into it. Now inequalities, for the most part, we can just really treat them like any other equation. The biggest difference is we're not finding a single value for that variable now, but we can describe a whole range of solutions. For example, if I'm saying that someone is older than 10, I don't have to write every single number that's more than 10. I don't have to write 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. I can actually just represent that with one simple expression, x greater than 10. Similarly, we want to be able to solve for inequalities, so finding unknown values. Some of these questions, for example, we've got all these inequalities here, and we can balance them in the same way that we balance normal equations using our opposite operations. One way that we like to represent these solutions is with a visual method. So that's using our number line. When drawing the inequality on a number line, we want to remember that the arrow goes in the same direction as that inequality symbol. So for example, if I have x greater than 10 again, right, that arrow, that's going to be in the same direction as that greater than symbol. Also, don't forget that if you have an equal to, you need to be filling in that circle. But if you're not taking that value, so just x greater than 10, we leave it as an open circle. Now I said for the most part that we can treat these inequalities like all the other equations that we've been learning about. And that's true with one little caveat. When we are multiplying or dividing by a negative number, we have to swap the inequality symbol. So for example, if I started with a greater than symbol, I'd have to swap it to a less than symbol. Why is that? Have a look at this example here. Very simple inequality, 1 is less than 2. If I multiplied both sides by -1, have a look at what happens. Is this expression still true? Well, it's not anymore, is it? So, what I have to do is I have to make sure that I account for that, and when I multiply or divide by a negative number, then I have to swap that inequality symbol. So really, that's all you need to know about inequalities. We can treat them as normal equations, for the most part, just remembering to swap the inequalities when I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative number. Have a look at this one here. Remember, the goal of an inequality is to find all the solutions for it. I'm going to think about my opposite operations. Just being careful about when I have negatives in there, do I actually need to swap the inequality? Well, it's only when I'm multiplying or dividing by a negative number. So just having negative numbers there doesn't mean I always swap them. So just being careful about that. Those are my last minute exam tips for inequalities. Hope they helped. All the best for your exams.